What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got multiple things here for you guys in this video, so let's jump right in. But first, if you are new to our channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on our new videos. I will keep you up to date here with everything you need to know about here going on in our country on a daily basis. It's completely free to subscribe. Remember that new videos come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much for liking these videos. Share these videos with your friends and family as well. I'll keep you up to date here on everything that you need to know about. First, we'll start with this here. Let me know your thoughts here on this. Election workers fear trouble. Boost security as vengeful threats persist after Trump loss. So Philadelphia election workers and others across the U.S. drew Trump's wrath in 2020 as he pushed debunked voter fraud claims. Now security is the new national challenge in the 2022 midterm elections. And election workers took a big brunt of the wrath here, which I don't think they even get paid. I think they're volunteers, which is really kind of sad, right? You can see here that bulletproof glass and guards. U.S. election offices tighten security for the November 8th midterm elections. Yikes. Yeah, let me know your thoughts here on this. Do you think this is going to be are we going to have problems with voting? Wow. Midterms are coming November 8th, 2022. Wow. When voters in Jefferson County, Colorado cast their ballots at November 8th, they will see security guards stationed outside the busiest polling centers. At an election office in Flagstaff, Arizona, voters will encounter bulletproof glass and need to press a buzzer to enter. In Tallahassee, Florida, election workers will count ballots in a building that has been newly toughened with walls made of super strong fiber Kevlar. Wow. Spurred by a deluge of threats and intimidating behavior by conspiracy theorists and others upset over former President Donald Trump's 2020 election defeat, some election officials across the U.S. are fortifying their operations as they ramp up for another divisive election. A Reuters survey of 30 election offices found that 15 have enhanced security in various ways, from installing panic buttons to hiring extra security guards to holding active shooter and de-escalation training. Oh my gosh, is this what the world has come to? Reuters focused on offices in battleground states and offices that have openly expressed a need for security improvements, for example, in congressional testimony. Election offices around the country said they were coordinating more closely with local law enforcement to respond quickly to disturbances. Many have also trained workers in de-escalating conflicts and evading active shooters. This is just unbelievable. Until recently, such threats to safety were seen as hypothetical in a country that has seen such few instances of election-related violence since the civil rights battles of the 1960s, when the presence of armed officers sometimes intimidated rather than reassured Black voters. Now those risks are real. Quote, the likelihood that they could occur has definitely increased, so everyone is taking that to heart. Quote, election officials in 12 states, including some who have paid for moderate security improvements, said they have not received enough money to make their desired upgrades due to bureaucratic hurdles. In Champaign County, Illinois, clerk would like to install metal detectors at his office. And remember, there's more guns in the US than there is people, where visitors have film staff, and the layout of the space is what he described as a threatening manner. Quote, it makes us feel like we're targets or we're not a priority in the same way our men and women in uniform are. And we're on the front lines of democracy just like they are. 1 in 5 U.S. election officials said they were unlikely to stay in their job through 2024. That's just sad. Just sad. Let me know your thoughts on this. And it's like, here's the thing here. Like, again, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, but like Trump voters are mad at the last election because he lost, right? Let me know in the comment section, right? Biden had 81 million votes and Trump had 74 million. Biden had 51%, Trump had 47%. Okay. And Trump lost. But in 2016, when Trump won the election, Hillary Clinton actually had about 3 million more votes. She won the popular election. She had 48% of the votes and Trump had 46%. She had 65 million votes and Trump had 63. She had 65.8. Trump had 62.9. So Hillary Clinton actually won the popular vote, but Trump won the election because of the way the Electoral College was done. But you don't hear Democrats saying that the election was stolen. You don't hear Hillary Clinton saying the election was stolen from her. Okay. You don't hear Donald Trump saying that the election was stolen, even though he lost the popular vote. I mean, this is just the way elections are. They're really close. They're decided by a few percentage points. Roughly half the country is Republican and half the country is Democrat. There's some independents in there, but they pretty much vote one way or the other, depending on the, there's not really a good middle candidate when it comes to presidential elections. So Trump actually lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton and yet won. And Democrats aren't like claiming that there was, the election was stolen and stuff when he won that election, even though he lost the popular vote. And they're not like doing all these threats and stuff. They're not saying the election was stolen here. So, I mean, you can let me know your thoughts on this, but like we gotta. I feel like we're in this kind of like rough patch here. Where are we gonna try to? Same thing with the impeachment things here. The Democrats trying to impeach Trump twice, whether you think that's right or wrong. And as soon as Biden came into office, people, Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to impeach Biden before he even came into office. She said that she was going to draw articles of impeachment the day he came into office. She said even before he came into office. Now, Republicans aren't in control, so they can't actually pass it. But if they were in control, and Republicans have said if they take over the House and Senate that they would do it. So again, this just kind of gives you the political atmosphere. This is kind of the a couple of the issues we have right now is that are we always looking to like impeach the president, no matter who it is, it's a Republican or Democrat? Are we always going to have election issues now where nobody's going to trust the results? Because if you look at our election history, the election results are pretty much always very close. It's just kind of how they are. And remember, Trump won the 2016 election and actually lost the popular vote. Okay. And we didn't have a big uproar of, oh, the election was stolen and all that stuff back then. But then we did when he lost the 2020 election. And now I feel like we're going to have this issue going forward for all these elections going forward. And I also feel like this impeachment issue, are we going to have this with every single president going forward? Like if you were president, that's kind of the problem. We had a quote here. A viewer asked the kid, "Hey, would you want to be president one day?" And he said, "No, because I don't want to be hated by everybody." I feel like if you're president, you're one of the most hated men in America. It's like I don't want to be president because like if you're a Democrat, you're hated by all the Republicans. If you're a Republican, you're hated by all the Democrats. It's just like it's kind of sad to be president of the United States and be hated by half the country. People think you're the worst president ever, no matter who you are. It's really, isn't that kind of sad? The United States of America, not united at all. Something we need to change. Something we need to change. Now, I do think going forward that we kind of need some new blood in there. I also think we kind of need that in Congress as well. I think a lot of people say that in the comment section as well. We need some new blood in there. Um, but we can't keep doing the same thing. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. So we can't keep doing the same thing to our presidents and to voters and to saying, oh, the elections aren't real and stuff, right? I mean, you look at these elections, the vote with the last election, all these states like went and recounted and recounted and recounted their votes, and they have them taped and everything. And I mean, when the states themselves are counting their own votes and they're recounting them and recounting them and recounting them, they're pretty legit, guys. I mean, their own states are counting their own votes and they're recounting them and recounting them and recounting them. What more do you want? So let me know your thoughts here on this. And this is, we're going to have this here in less than a month now. Less than a month. So fingers crossed it goes okay. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, got some other interesting stuff here for you. New York residents to receive a stimulus check worth $270 this month. Here's the details on this. New York residents are set to receive stimulus checks worth $270 this month. Governor Kathy Hochul announced last month that the New York State Department of Taxation would be sending out additional New York State child and earned income tax payments, which are also known as the adult tax credits. So, New York State child tax credits and earned income tax credits. So, child tax credits and adult tax credits by the end of October in an effort to combat rising inflation. It is estimated that 1.75 million New Yorkers will receive a check. So 1.75 million people will receive this check. Stimulus update: California residents to receive their massive $1,050 stimulus check payments. Those started going out here like a day or two ago. So those checks started going out. Those are $350 per person as well. If you've been watching my channel, you know about those. I have seen some people said, yes, they started getting their stimulus checks in California as well. Those are going to be going out here all throughout the month and even a little bit past them. So let me know if you got your California stimulus check up to $1,050. It's $350 per person. If you have up to 3 people in your family, it can be $1,050. So with New York, with this relief package, we're making good on our commitment to help hardworking New Yorkers through the nationwide affordability crisis. This will put money back in the pockets of nearly 2 million New York families struggling to make ends meet in the face of the pandemic, inflation, and other rising costs. My administration remains laser focused on improving affordability statewide, and I thank the legislature for its partnership in ensuring that New York families get this crisis financial need. Checks will be distributed automatically. Residents who received at least $100 in 2021 from the Empire State Child Tax Credit or the income credit, the adult tax credit, and which is for low income adults, and filed their state income tax return by adult by April 18th, 2021, do not need to take any further action, and they will send you the check or the direct deposit. They cannot provide an exact schedule of payments. Said all checks may not be sent out before the end of October. So let me know when you receive this, and or I will keep you up to date here. So that's an extra $270 checks going out to almost 2 million New Yorkers. Remember that New York also sent out a $2 billion property tax. Yeah, New York also had a $2 billion property tax rebate as well that went out earlier, like a month or so ago. Ohio hasn't been doing much with their stimulus money, but they did announce a little bit. Governor Mike DeWine announces he's going to send $15 million in stimulus funds to Ohio food banks. So that's probably about a little bit of the interest that they're earning on the billions and billions of dollars of stimulus money that's sitting there in the bank. I don't know what the governor's doing. I think he's probably a shoo-in for re-election as well. So I don't know what they're doing with the money, but some of these states like Florida, Texas, and Ohio, they're just sitting on that money, man. They're just kind of collecting the interest. Republican Governor Mike DeWine's administration is using federal stimulus money to grant $15 million worth of Ohio-produced meat, eggs, and dairy products to Ohio food banks. So you can go and get some meat, eggs, and dairy products there because they just got $15 million. So go out there and they basically have free food there, $15 million worth of it. The Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services will use the money to acquire and transport the products to 13 regional food banks across the state. The amount is a fraction of the $183 million that food banks previously had requested, including $50 million in food. So the food banks requested $183 million and $50 million in food, and the governor gave them $15 million? So I'm not sure what's going on there. You can let me know your thoughts on that. The funding will come from the American Rescue Plan signed last year by President Biden. Brian Stout, the legislative liaison for the Ohio Jobs and Family Services, told controlling board members on Monday that he wasn't sure why the state settled on $15 million. But he said food banks have raised concern specifically about the shortage of meat and dairy products. This request is an effort to use federal funds to meet an immediate needs of citizens in Ohio while supporting Ohio-based producers. This is why we ended up on this versus more of a catch-all request. Yeah, I don't know what some of these states are doing, man. I really don't. In other business on Monday, the controlling board also approved a DeWine-administered request to spend $18 million on federal American Rescue Plan money on the state's effort to coordinate and distribute vaccines. In Alabama, Governor Ivey said that the state's surplus revenue is unsustainable and cannot be used to make permanent structural change, but they are pursuing a tax rebate check, which is like a stimulus check, in an upcoming session. Here's what they said. Republican leaders in the legislature have already been hinting at a potential tax rebate check for Alabamians in the coming session, and now Governor Kay Ivey has expressed her support as Alabama enjoys a temporary surplus of federal funding, saying, quote, I have spoken to folks across the state and people are feeling the pinch of today's economy, and I've committed to them that I want to provide some relief to their pocketbooks, which means a check. Well, if they pass it. As we move through the November election cycle, I will work closely with the legislature to provide relief directly to the people of Alabama. I will present that plan to the legislature to allocate these funds in a manner that will help our citizens with the issue that we face today, while also considering our children and their future. So remember that there's about 33 different states that have passed state stimulus checks, tax rebate checks, property tax rebate checks, and lowering taxes and things of that manner here already this year, and there could be even more. And I'll keep you up to date here with all this and what's going on here on the federal level. Remember that there's $10,000 to $20,000 of student loan forgiveness happening for over 40 million Americans this month as well, which is basically a massive stimulus program for over 40 million Americans. I'll keep up to date here on that. There's could be other massive stimulus programs on the federal level and the state level. I'll keep up to date here on all this. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button, then the bell icon that appears after you click the subscribe button. It's completely free to do so. It just makes it so you won't miss out on our new videos. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here is my newest video. You can click this to watch about more people that are getting checks here that you might not even know about. And here is my newest video about Social Security raises, details on that. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.